Hello, everyone, and welcome to our educational session. My name is Paul Arsov, and I'm the founder of the Decentralized Web project. The topic of this educational event today is steering anger and rage, the rise of intolerance. This is part of this presentation, and when we are facing intolerance, in this climate, moderate voices become nearly inaudible. The person who says it's complicated gets drowned out by those shouting it's simple. The leader who admits uncertainty appears weak next to those who project absolute certainty. We have created a culture that mistakes volume and loudness for truth and intensity for authenticity. This dynamic plays out across every domain in human life. In education, the teacher who acknowledges the difficulty of certain social issues get attacked from both sides, while the one who delivers ideological purity gets praised. In journalism, the reporter who presents multiple perspectives appears biased compared to the pundit who confirms existing beliefs. In politics, the candidate who evolves on issues appears flip-flopping, while the one who never changing positions appears principled. The cruel irony of the bitterness anger loop is that it promises strength while delivering weakness. By avoiding vulnerability, we become brittle. By demanding certainty, we become more unable to learn. By armoring ourselves with anger, we become unable to truly connect with others or respond effectively to complex challenges. Real strength, the kind that builds lasting relationships, solves difficult problems, and creates resilient communities, requires what Hemingway called grace under pressure. It demands the ability to feel fear without being paralyzed, to acknowledge hurt without being and becoming bitter, to maintain hope without being naive. This kind of strength is increasingly rare in our culture, but examples exist. Um, we could think of the parents who lose a child to drunk driving and challenge their grief into advocacy without demonizing all people who drink. On the business or the business owners who experience bankruptcy and emerge with lessons learned rather than a lifetime of resentment towards the economic system. These individuals demonstrate what psychologists call post-traumatic growth, the paradoxical ability to become stronger at the broken places. Breaking free from the bitterness anger loop, both individual and culturally, requires a fundamental shift in how we understand strength and vulnerability. We must begin to see that the person who can acknowledge uncertainty isn't weak, they're scientifically literate. The leader who admits mistakes isn't incompetent, they're more trustworthy. The friend who shares their struggles isn't neurotic, they're just human. This shift requires new cultural narratives. Instead of celebrating the angry truth teller who tells it like it is, we might honor the person who bears like it is, who can listen deeply to perspectives that challenge their own, rather than admiring the fighter who never backs down. We might respect the diplomat who knows when to push and when to yield. On a practical level, this means developing what psychologists call emotional granularity, the ability to distinguish between different emotional states and respond appropriately to each. When we notice anger arising, we can pause and ask, what else am I feeling? Is this anger protective? Is it helping me solve the actual problem? Perhaps most importantly, we must rediscover the art of vulnerable strength, the ability to remain open hearted in a difficult world. This doesn't mean becoming passive or accepting injustice. It means developing the emotional sophistication to respond to complex situations with the full range of human capabilities rather than defaulting to our simplest tool. This might look like the parent who, instead of getting angry at their teenager's mistake, takes a breath and says, um, I'm worried about you, but I need to understand what happened. Or the manager who, rather than exploding at team's poor performance, admits this isn't working and I'm concerned we are missing something important. Such responses require more emotional labor than simple anger, but they're far more likely to produce actual solutions rather than emotional discharge. Um, as we are going through this, we could see that some neighbors, like or people that we know, begin um, to the slow journey to back from the length of perpetual outrage. Um, the question peers through um, like um, the question why he was always so mad can pierce through any one armor in a way that no political argument or family intervention can do. Um, so this is a slow therapy. Um, like it could offer medication, slowly beginning to excavate the original hurts beneath the anger. Um, Imagine our world where public discourse has characterized not by competing monologues of grievances, but by genuine curiosity about different perspectives, where families could discuss difficult topics without fracturing, when leaders could model emotional sophistication rather than inflammatory rhetoric, where strength was measured not by the ability to dominate, but the capacity to connect across differences. Such a vision isn't naive idealism, it's psychological realism. Humans are capable of extraordinary emotional growth and resilience when provided with proper support and genuine community. But reaching this potential requires recognizing that our current path, the systematic substitution of anger for genuine feeling, is a dead end that leads only to deeper isolation and increased suffering. We stand at a crossroad, both individually and collectively. We can continue down the path of perpetual anger, accepting alienation and bitterness as the price for staying strong. Or we can choose the more difficult path to emotional honesty, accepting that real strength comes from being able to feel the full spectrum of human emotion while maintaining our capacity for connection and growth. The choice isn't between anger and passivity, it's between anger as a tool and anger as an identity, between righteous indignation that motivates positive action and bitter resentment that poisons everything it touches, between using our emotional energy to build communities or to tear them down. The bitterness anger loop promises us control but delivers isolation. It offers us the simplicity of pure enemy identification, but costs us the complexity of genuine relationship. It provides us with the temporary satisfaction of moral superiority, but robs us of the lasting joy of authentic connection. Breaking this cycle isn't just personal work, it's cultural work requiring new narratives, different models of leadership, and fundamental recommitment to the idea that our shared humanity is more important than our ideological differences. It requires the courage to remain human in an age that rewards us for becoming weapons. The way forward isn't around our pain, it is through it, not over our differences, but in honest engagement with them, not beyond our vulnerability, but in learning to see it as the foundation of genuine strength rather than evidence of weakness. In the end, the bitterness anger loop represents a tragic misunderstanding of what it means to be strong. True strength isn't the capacity to remain perpetually armed, it is the courage to remain perpetually human, even when the world gives us every reason to close our hearts and take up swords instead. The question isn't whether we will face more disappointment, injustice, and pain. We will. The question is whether we will meet these inevitable human experiences with the full repertoire of human responses, or whether we will continue to impoverish ourselves by converting every complex feeling into the same simple isolating rage. Our hearts, it turns out, are far more resilient than our anger. They can hold multiple truths, navigate genuine paradox, and remain open even in the face of genuine threat. But only if we stop trading them for the false protection of perpetual fury. Our choice is ours, one moment at a time, one emotion at a time, one relationship at a time. We can continue building walls or start building bridges. We can stay in a position or choose the risky freedom of an open heart. The bitterness anger loop promises us safety but delivers solitary confinement. Isn't it time we choose a different way? And with this said, I'm ending this presentation, and I'm coming back to this to the beginning of this presentation when I told you that my name is Paul Arsov, and I'm the founder of the Decentralized Web Project and several other projects. But first, the Decentralized Web Project built a decentralized communication advertising platform. Um, the project has its own blockchain instance, which generates tokens, which are rewarded for people becoming users on our new users on our decentralized web platform. It also rewards users on our platform which uh, invite other people to become new users with tokens, and it rewards users on our platform for viewing advertising which is very permissive. Basically, you have to click a button to start viewing advertising, and then you have to view advertising one page after another page very permissively by clicking to advance to next ad and next ad. And for this, you the user, are rewarded with tokens. The meaning we put in decentralization in our decentralized communication advertising platform is different than the meaning which um, blockchain technology puts in decentralization. We view blockchain technology as fundamentally flawed and not suitable to drive decentralization. And in our implementation of decentralization, we allow only direct communication from user to user without going through a third party, namely a server, which collects data and then it distributes data back down to the users. Once again, we allow only direct communication from user to user. With this said, I like to tell you the name and the URL of this project. It is decentralizedweb.org. Decentralized and web, these are two words, and they're typed all together. Decentralized web. Then there's dot and it ends with org. With this said, I like to mention the second project that we built and released, and this project built a marketplace and collection of non-fungible tokens based on three-dimensional objects. With three-dimensional objects, there has to be a special 3D engine which uh, reads the file of the 3D object, then it opens a window on a computer screen, then it displays the 3D object in this window, and then the 3D engine can do some manipulation like moving or rotating or zooming the 3D object. But from the very beginning in our decentralized in our 3D NFT project, we decided to build our own 3D software engine, and in addition to the basic steps for loading and displaying the 3D NFT, our 3D software engine um, starts animating the 3D object in a way of moving it in random fashion around the window it is open. And our 3D software engine has multiple additional capabilities. The first additional capability of our 3D NFT software engine is the capability of speaking. Our 3D NFTs can speak either in a male voice or a female voice or whisper kind of a voice. In addition to the three basic voices, there are three different flavors of voices. A voice can be spoken either in normal speed or in fast speed or in slow speed fashion. The next additional important capability of our 3D software engine is the capability of voice recognition. You can issue your very first voice command to the 3D NFT, which is being animated by a way of moving in a random fashion by issuing your very first voice command to the 3D NFT to stop moving. And then the 3D NFT is going to stand still and stop moving. You can issue following voice commands to the 3D NFT to move left, move right, move up, move down, zoom in, zoom out, rotate. And then the 3D NFT is going to fulfill each one of these separate voice commands. The next additional and important capability of our 3D NFTs is the capability of them having a basic artificial intelligence. Wow, really wow. You can ask the 3D NFT, who are you? And then the 3D NFT is going to reply in few sentences of who they are. You can ask the 3D NFT to describe something. For example, describe Web3 or describe decentralization or describe Russia. And then the 3D NFT is going to describe in few sentences about decentralization or the Web3 or the country called Russia. The last additional but not least important capability of our 3D NFT is the capability of them being displayed in a way of stereoscopics. What stereoscopics means is that part of the 3D NFT is going to be displayed in red or reddish colors, and another part of the 3D NFT is going to be displayed in blue or cyan colors. You, the user, can come to our 3D NFT marketplace website, and now is the time to tell you the name and the URL of this website. It is 3dnft.decentralizedweb.org. 3D NFT is typed in a way of the number 3 followed by the letter D followed by three other letters N, F, and T, and it is typed all together 3D NFT. Then there is dot, then there are two words, decentralized and web, typed all together, decentralized web. Then there is dot and it ends with org. On the top of the main page and every other page, you can see a number of links. One of these links point to links to accessories. When you click on this link, you're going to see that we're offering special glasses, and when you order one pair of these glasses and when you receive these glasses and put them on, you can see that one lens of these glasses is red and the other lens of these glasses is blue cyan. Then you can put these glasses on. You can request displaying of the 3D NFT in a way of stereoscopics, and then you are going to see the 3D NFT is coming out of the flat two-dimensional computer screen, and you're going to see it in real 3 dimensions. With this said, I'm ending talking about this project, and the next project. In the next project, we built artificial intelligence agents, and currently there are 2 AI agents, and they are tasked to communicate with each other, and they're feeding on each other responses and replying back and forth. Um, the user, can select the initial parameters of each of these uh, artificial intelligence agents, and you can, for example, assign the first AI entity to have a female gender, to have a female voice with which they can actually speak. You can choose female avatar for this AI agent. You can type the initial prompt for this AI agent, like for example, to be very seductive, and you can put the context of this interaction for this AI agent to ask questions and answer to questions. And let's say the second AI entity, you could assign it male gender, male voice with which they can speak. You can select also the voice pitch for the voice. You can pick and generate male AI avatar, and you can put the prompt to be for this AI agent to be very angry, and then you could put the context for this AI avatar to answer questions and ask questions. Then you, the user, could click on the button to start this interaction, and you can enjoy this like the exchange of the female AI agent trying to seduce the male AI agent, and then the male AI agent responding in an angry fashion back to the female AI agent. You can go through this interaction back and forth, and at some point you could stop this interaction, and at this point you could choose to save on your local computer system the transcript of the entire interaction for your own viewing later, and you have also the choice to share the parameters of this interaction with other users by posting these parameters on the AI to AI website. So now is the time to tell you the name and the URL of this project. It is ai2ai.decentralizedweb.org. AI to AI is typed in a way of the letter A, followed by the letter I, followed by the number 2, followed by two other letters A and I, and it is typed all together AI to AI. Then there is dot, then there are two words, decentralized and web, typed all together, decentralized web. Then there is dot and it ends with org. With this said, I'm ending talking about this project, and I like to mention two other projects that we are working on, but we did not release a website, or we do not provide initial information, but I can tell you a little bit about these two projects which are still in development. The first of these AI projects is a token counter project, and if you, the user, is you are using multiple AI agents, then you have to pay for the use of these AI agents at like on the first of the month, or at a specific date in the month. Or you could be having certain money as your budget, and you have to know specifically how much did you spend on in tokens for using a specific AI agent or multiple AI agents. By counting these tokens, our project could provide a daily, weekly, or monthly accounting for the tokens spent, and the cost you could be incurring in order to avoid a huge negative surprise when the big bill is coming, or when you blow your entire budget early on, and you could not use the service anymore because you do not have funds to pay for the service. With this said, I like to mention the second AI project that we're working on, and this AI project is an automation project which records a sequence of steps you're taking in your computer system. You could request start of the recording, and then at the last step you could choose to stop this recording, or you could choose the confirmation action for the last step of this sequence of steps, and then you could label this sequence of steps with a specific name. But what could this recording be? This recording could be ordering of specific food item from a grocery store, or ordering ticket for a concert at a specific venue, um, at a specific day and time, or ordering an airplane ticket from a specific airline or multiple airlines, going to one destination or multiple destination, and going with a single or multiple stops, and going in a specific range of dates and times. With this said, I'm ending this presentation. Thank you for listening. Thank you for viewing. Have a nice day. Have a nice evening, and goodbye.